Dear friends and my dear students, I am Dr. P.K. Verma. In continuation with our discussions on different phylum of the animal kingdom, today I shall discuss the last phylum of non-chordata, that is known as Echinodermata. The animals with a spiny skin or body surface are echinoderms. Jacob Klein in 1734 at first used this term for the sea urchins, that is echinus, and other related animals. So just by seeing the spiny surface, you can imagine that the animal could be an echinodermata. Leuckart in 1847 established them as a separate phylum. These are exclusively marine animals, that is no specimen, no species is found in the freshwater, rivers and the ponds. Bader in 1900 discussed that it is one of the best characterized and most distinct phylum of animal kingdom. The most important but peculiar character of this phylum is bilateral symmetry of larvae, though adults have radial symmetry. It is a very important and very peculiar character that the larvae are bilaterally symmetrical, but the adults have radial symmetry. In the course of evolution, every animal from the roundworms onward have bilateral symmetry. There is no example of radial symmetry, but surprisingly all the echinoderms have radial symmetry. The cause is not known to us because the animals are not confined to one particular region. These are worldwide distributed and therefore it cannot be said as adaptive change. Body is generally flattened or oval or biradial with pentamerous symmetry. That is, the arrangement is on the 5 radiuses in the body. Segmentation, cephalization and distinction of brain and sense organs are lacking. They have no definite brain, no definite head and no specific sense organ. On the body, even in the larva, there is no segmentation. In most animals, there are 5 or multiple of 5 arms used for swimming and catching the prey, but these arms are absent in sea urchin. Under the surface of arms, there is an ambulacral groove through which 2 rows of tube feet come out. Presence of the tube feet is another character of Echinodermata. The exoskeleton is mesodermal and made of hexagonal calcareous plates. Some of these plates bear movable or immovable spines. Epiderm is delicate and usually ciliated. Middle layer is dermis and inner layer forms peritoneum. They have true body cavities known as enterocoelom. It surrounds the digestive and reproductive system. They have a separate system for conduction of water through the body, and finally to each arm. Such water vascular system is characteristic of this phylum. You have heard about the canal system in Porifera. Don't be confused. Canal system also transfers water from outside to inside, but it is a closed system called water vascular system. Alimentary canal is simple and or coiled. The anus may open at oral or aboral surface. That depends on the symmetry of body. Gaseous exchange may take place through skin gills in starfishes, periosteal gills in sea urchin, genital bursa in brittle stars, or the respiratory tree such as in Holothuria. The circulatory or hymal system is closed and surrounded by another perihymal system. So hymal and perihymal system are associated with each other. The hymal system passes through the perihymal system. There is no heart at all. A definite excretory system is absent. Nervous system is primitive, made of nerve nets. A number of larval forms like Auricularia, Bipinnaria, Brachyolaria, Ophiopluteus, Echinopluteus, and crinoids are formed in the life cycle of different classes. At the time of embryonic development, blastophore forms anus and mouth opens independently in opposite side. Such animals are known as deuteroastemia. Deuteroastemia are the animals in which blastophore forms the anus. These are the various larval forms found in different classes: Holothuria, Echinoidea, Ophiuridia, Asteroidea, and Crinoidea. Proteroastemia means blastophore forms mouth, such as in Helminthes, Annelida, Mollusca, and Arthropoda. These four phyla are Proteroastemia or Proteroastemic. Deuteroastemia means blastophore forms anus, such as in Echinodermata and Chordata. Now, what is the blastophore? In embryology, you will study that after cleavage, morula is formed, and from morula a blastula is formed. Blastula has a cavity known as blastocele. By invagination, the outer surface invaginates into the inner inside of the blastocele and forms a new cavity known as archenteron. Here a new cavity will be formed that is known as archenteron, and gradually blastocele will be obliterated. This pore, that is invaginating pore, is called blastopore. Blastopore is present in gastrula stage, not in the blastula stage. Now from this blastopore, when mouth is formed, the animal is Proteroastemia, and when anus is formed, the animal is Deuteroastemia. So echinoderms and chordata are Deuteroastemia. Due to formation of enterocoelom and deuteroastemic development, the echinoderms are closely related to chordata. It is suggested that Tornaria larvae of Hemichordata are modified Auricularia larva of echinoderms. So Garstein 1949 suggests that chordates might have been evolved from echinoderms. Now this is the diplurula larva. It is hypothetical, from which the auricularia and bipinnaria of starfish, Pluteus, Ophiopluteus and Echinopluteus of Holothuria and Echinoidea, and the Tornaria of Hemichordata have been evolved. So this hypothetical diplurula larva is the parent of all these three larval forms. Now come to the subphylum Echinozoa. They have worm-like bodies without any arm. The class 1 is Echinoidea, in which the body is globular or disc-like and enclosed in a rigid test. That is, the cover is rigid. Mouth and anus are at opposite ends, forming oral and aboral surface. The oral surface is always downwards. Biting and chewing apparatus with teeth are present. It is known as Aristotle's lantern. You will find it in the sea urchin. Ambulacral groups are absent in meridional. Larval forms are Platans and Echinopluteus. The common example is called sea urchin or Echinus. It is a very interesting animal. It rarely moves on the surface of rocks. It remains lying on the surface of rocks with aboral surface upward. It looks very beautiful, purple in color. Another species is brown, deep brown. It is lightly pink. So all these three species are very beautiful species. Now you can see that many echinoderms, the echinus, the sea urchins, are lying on the surface of rocks. Second class is Holothuroidea. Body is elongated and cylindrical. Oral end has mouth surrounded by tentacles. Ossicles or the calcareous plates are microscopic, hence the body looks smooth. Ambulacral grooves, spines and pedicellaria are absent. Larval forms are auricularia and doliolaria. The common example is Holothuria and Cucumaria. These are commonly known as sea cucumbers. Now see their photographs. It is a sea cucumber projecting all the arms outwards while swimming in the water body. But in other photographs, you will see that the arms are withdrawn into their mouth. It is another species of sea cucumber. See one more photograph. Beside a starfish, there is a third species of sea cucumber. It has leg-like structure also. Subphylum Homolozoa is totally extinct. No species is found. Another subphylum is Crinozoa and the class Crinoidea. The body is radial, globoid or stalked with well-developed arms. Body has a central disc that is attached to the substratum. Arms are branched. Spines and pedicellarian and madreporoid are absent. Larval form is doliolaria. They are commonly known as feather stars and sea lilies. Sea lily or crinus, feather star, Antedon are the common examples. You can see the beauty of their structure. They have long stalk and many arms. These are also very colorful and look like a flower. It is another species. They really look like some flower inside the sea. But in this case, the stalk is highly reduced, but the arms are well developed. These are also feather-like branched. So the common name is feather star. See another species. It is also very beautiful species. Antedon. These animals give beautiful ecosystem in the ocean. So all are from the same subphylum. The last one is the subphylum Sterozoa. Body radially symmetrical and star-shaped. Oral surface is downward. Class Steroidea. Subclass Steroidea contains starfishes, generally with 5 or 10 arms. Larval forms are Bipinnaria and Brachyolaria. See one species and the other species. These two species are very beautiful. This is the third type with 15 or 20 arms. These are known as sun stars. They look like perfect, a beautiful flower. The last subclass is Ophiuroidea. Body is star-like. Arms are sharply marked off from the central disc. Ambulacral groups and pedicellaria are absent. Larval form is Ophiopluteus. The examples are brittle star, Ophiothrix, Ophioderma, Ophiocoma, Ophiura, etc. These are confused with starfishes sometimes. See the similarity in two species. Their arms look branched with a clear-cut central disc. So you have learnt a brief account of their classification and character. Now in the next session, I shall discuss Hemichordata. You are most welcome. See you again.